Welcome back to Relational Lives. I'm here again with Roz, and we have one of our Dear Therapists episodes today. We have 2 listener questions that we're going to explore and discuss and give our thoughts on it.
It's lovely having these letters, isn't it?
Yeah, I love having any kind of interaction from people that are listening or watching.
Yeah, we really welcome it. So again, keep any questions that you have or any dilemmas that you have that you'd like us to talk about. Just keep them coming on in, and sporadically we will do another Dear Therapists episode. We're going to try and do one a month, aren't we, roughly? Might end up a bit more. But anyway, keep them coming in. So we've got, as Ali says, 2 today. So shall I read the first one?
Yeah, we've cut them, we've edited them down so that they're a little bit shorter than what we received.
Yes.
Hopefully we get the general gist of it across.
Yeah.
And we've just given them initials rather than real names.
Yeah, it's just to keep confidentiality. So the first letter, we're using the letter L for this one. So this is from L. Is it okay to end a friendship over politics? I never thought I'd face this, but I'm 20 now, and recently a close friend made some comments about immigrants that really hurt me, especially since my parents are immigrants and have faced a lot. She votes for a party known for racist and anti-immigrant views, and while she apologised after I told her how I felt, she's made more hurtful comments since, like blaming Muslims for a terrorist attack. It's not just about politics, it's personal and painful, and it's changed how I feel about our friendship. I know everyone has their own beliefs, but is it okay to end a friendship when those beliefs hurt you? I'd love to hear what you all think. That's hard, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, it is hard because these are deeply painful comments that are being made. I don't know how aware this friend is of how hurtful they might be.
Elle said she apologised after I told her how I felt. So she's communicated, or they have communicated, Elle has communicated how they feel. And so there must be some awareness, I guess, but maybe not how broad the hurt is.
Or how
personal,
hurtful.
Broad and personal. It's like it's not just about voting for a political party, is it? This is about somebody's identity.
Exactly. Someone's identity, someone's family.
Yeah.
Someone's
roots.
Someone's whole being.
Yeah. And also, Elle, you talk about the experiences that your parents have gone through as immigrants. So it's a very personal story and very, very hard when somebody you've made a friend with is saying such things that are so against that, aren't they?
Well, there's racial prejudice in here, isn't there?
There is.
Yeah, the question, is it okay to end a friendship when you're being hurt by someone? Absolutely it is. But I guess the deeper question is that something you want to do at this point, or do you want to explore it more with your friend and help that friend understand? Is she willing to understand? We don't know.
It's a tricky one, that one, isn't it? Because I'm not so sure it's the responsibility of Elle to do that.
It's not. I agree. It's not Elle's responsibility to educate her friend. But this is a friend that I don't know if she wants to lose that friendship yet. So, no, it's totally not her responsibility to educate. But we could explore options here, I guess. Because one option is, absolutely, you're quite within your rights to say, this isn't a friendship that's serving me well.
And that's important in terms of boundaries, isn't it? It's really important in terms of your own value system, your own worth, your own experiences. And if you feel that that's not aligned with that person, that there's a real boundary that you're putting in place.
And I think, you can have friends who have different political views, can't you?
Absolutely.
And some people are fine with that.
There's something different about this, though, isn't there?
Yeah, this isn't just about what political party someone is voting for, is it?
But having said that, I'm thinking about what you're saying. Yes, you can have different political views, but what is it that changes it? Like, at what point would it be, I'm thinking of myself, at what point would I think, no, actually, I actually need to put some distance here, because I find what that person believes in too difficult to have in my world.
Well, like you say, it's what that says about that person's identity, their belief system, who they are as a person.
Yeah.
And I guess that's going to be individual for everyone, isn't it?
It really is. And what I'm hearing with Elle, what I'm wondering, of course, it might be that you don't necessarily want to end this friendship, but you're wondering whether, you can, or whether you should. And maybe there's a should in there.
Yeah.
But I'm also thinking that actually maybe there's something about permission, that it's okay. This isn't just about politics.
No.
This is way beyond that. And we can have, I think the difference is about opinions, isn't it? It's like, it's not just a different opinion. It's more than that.
Yeah, it's personal.
It's really personal. And this person is continuing, this friend is continuing to do it. They've not recognised from what I'm understanding of what Elle has written, because Elle says she's made more hurtful comments since.
True. Yeah.
So even though there's
multiple.
Yeah. So Elle has said already, haven't they, that, this was hurtful. And I guess why. And I imagine that was a really difficult thing to do, because it's hard, isn't it, when you have to sort of say things which might feel a bit tricky with friendships. So I imagine it took a lot of courage to do that. But then to have more comments since.
Yeah.
Particularly the ones
Blaming
that have
Muslims
been made.
for terrorist attacks.
Yeah. And I think you're right. You've said it. This is not about politics. It's personal and painful. It really is.
So what are your thoughts then, Ros, on what Elle might do here?
I think, like you say, it's kind of checking in whether you would be prepared to not have that friendship. Because
we don't know what else that friendship brings, I suppose, and what other qualities that friendship has, and that might be something for Elle to think about. Yeah, that's a good point, and that might be helpful then, mightn't it? Yeah, yeah. And then I don't know. Oh, she's 20, so they're young. They are young. I think that's important to take into account as well. And whilst definitely not saying this is okay, or that it's Elle's responsibility to educate, I'm curious about this friend. I'm curious about what's going on there. What does she not know, or is she just stuck in that? Where has this come from? I think what's very difficult when there are, and especially in the world currently, there are such extremes going on. And I think that people can feel sort of influenced without realising, and pulled along by sometimes untruths. Absolutely. We, like on the Gen Z episode, we were talking about how people can go down rabbit holes and be fed information and believe it. And I think that's probably in every single country. And because of the more extreme experiences politically, I think if you're thinking about this other person, the friend of Elle's, then it's difficult to know whether she has been caught up in that. I am still wondering though about the fact that even when she said her friend felt hurt, she continues to say something along the same lines, and so that's the part that I find hard. I agree. That it's not been picked up on. It's not being held. It's not. She's not being considered in that. And that really brings in, well, what is friendship? Just what do you want from friendship? How do you see friendship? Do you see it as something that's equal? Do you see what are the important, in a way, a bit like the values we sometimes talk about? What are your values? And this is really important in what you're talking about. You sound like you've got very clear values.
And I think that's important, to listen to yourself and trust yourself.
Yeah. I think that age is also a time when friendships can change quite a lot, can't they? I know when I was that age, it was like, I don't think I saw my school friends again after that, and started making new friends and realising who I was and the kind of people I wanted around.
Whereas my experience actually is quite different. I've got friends from school
Have
that
you?
I'm still very close to. Yeah.
Of course you have, yeah.
Yeah. So I think the ones that stick out that are more tricky are the ones that something happened and I don't know quite what did, and it was difficult. So and those are the ones I still think about sometimes, funnily enough.
Because you don't know.
Because I don't know. It's like, what went wrong there? Yeah. What did I do? What went, was it something I did? Was it something the other person did?
So do you think Elle, with that in mind, do you think that, well, I guess it's going to be helpful then for her to be really honest about this to her friend? She chooses to.
She's been honest already, hasn't she? And I think, Elle, you clearly have a lot of courage and a lot of understanding of what it's like for you, and with your parents having been immigrants, and what your values and what your own thoughts about this are. So maybe, you could also think about, yes, what do you want from a friendship? How does this feel for you to go up to this friend again and say, actually, even after I've said this thing, you've gone and said this other thing, which I have found even more hurtful or equally as hurtful. Maybe that's something that you could do.
Yeah, yeah. And if there's a boundary there for you and you're, ready to, then to say, I don't think this friendship works for me now.
And be confident with that. It's like, you know yourself, you trust yourself. You've got huge understanding from what you've written.
Yeah.
But not without pain, so even if you decide to do that, even if you decide, no, actually, boundary, I really can't still be friends with this person, you might still feel a loss, because this friend might have been, really important to you. Like you say, I think you said something about them being, I'm not sure.
That might have been in the
might have
longer,
been in the longer one.
Yeah.
But, so it isn't necessarily easy. It can still bring pain with it. But it's working out what's most important to you.
Yeah, and finding those people that'd be great friends, and
and aligned with your beliefs and your values. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Well, we hope that helps, Elle.
Yeah, and thank you, Elle.
And do let us know if you want to how that goes.
Yes.
We'd love to hear.
Yeah.
Shall we move on to our second one?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to use the initial P. I'm struggling with my relationship with my father. He's Peruvian and moved to Spain in his 20s, which really affected him. He's never talked about his feelings or the trauma of leaving his family behind. My mom, sister and I feel like he wants to go back, but he won't, partly because life is safer and more stable here. Over time, he's become unpredictable and quick to anger. We feel like we're always walking on eggshells at home, can't laugh, sing, or even talk about certain topics without upsetting him. My mom has wanted a divorce, but we can't afford it. It's overwhelming. I've tried to understand our family's issues by reading about trauma and mental health, but it doesn't make the day-to-day any easier. I'm tired and just needed to share this with someone. I don't expect answers, just some comfort and to know I'm not alone. P.S. English isn't my first language, so I hope this made sense. Thank you, P. And that made total sense to me.
Yeah, absolutely. What a difficult situation, P. This is so hard, isn't it?
And you are definitely not alone with this one. This is something I've heard in other people's situations as well.
Really hard, and really hard when it seems as if there are no exits, there's no way out, there's no solution that's easy, and that you're still in that environment, which sounds really tricky and really traumatic.
I love that P has got a lot of empathy here for their father.
Isn't that lovely?
And the trauma that's probably been experienced and the reasons for this anger, which is, it's a wonderful thing to be able to try and understand that.
And also really trying to understand, in so much as P has said about reading about trauma and mental health. And I think that's, again, it shows that real empathy, doesn't it? And understanding. Lovely.
Don't know. I wonder if P has shared anything with their dad.
Yeah, I think I imagine it's quite difficult to share because one of the things that P says is he's become unpredictable and quick to anger.
Well,
you feel like
that
we're always walking on eggshells
feeling, isn't it?
So I imagine that that's a really difficult thing to do. And, you're right. It sounds like maybe there is a lot of, there's a trauma that your dad is perhaps dealing with. And it can be something when trauma comes out, doesn't it, in the present, when it's not being processed or resolved, that it can be really frightening for those around the person who's triggered or activated in any way. Well,
especially when, you can't just relax in your own space, in your own home. You can't sing, you can't laugh.
No.
It sounds exhausting.
Yeah. Because there's going to be, I imagine, a certain amount of, that walking on eggshells, it brings with anxiety, doesn't it? You're going to feel pretty anxious.
Yeah.
And so that's going to feel quite crippling, I imagine, at times. Really tough.
And it's a tough one, isn't it? Because even though you understand it, even though you've read about trauma and you kind of have made sense of where this might be coming from with your dad, it doesn't make it any easier in how it's experienced in the house or in the home, is it?
No, really hard.
It kind of sometimes I think can make it worse, harder.
Yeah.
Because
you know it, and yet those behaviours are going on, and it's sort of like you're experiencing them. It's really tough, really tough. And also what's so hard, I think, is the sort of coupled with that powerlessness. When P says, my mum has wanted a divorce but can't afford it. And then it's overwhelming.
Trapped.
Yeah. So really suffocating kind of situation, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
And I love what you said, that you don't expect answers. Just some comfort and to know you're not alone. And like Ali said, you're not alone. And we think that one of the loveliest things is that you've reached out and shared this with us. And I'm sure it will resonate with other people. You certainly won't be alone.
Yeah. And maybe if anyone's listening or watching, they can post in the comments just to share with that, just so that
I think that would be really lovely.
He realises that they aren't alone.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's really difficult, isn't it? Because there is so much that's going on here in terms of the father and his country of origin and what's going on being an immigrant in another country. And again, experiencing that, not necessarily having the money to be able to do what your mum maybe wants to do and trying to sort of protect you. I don't know whether you have any siblings, but, it's going to be hard.
Yeah. Maybe also hard because you've got that empathy for your dad, because when you're faced with anger, you just want to protect yourself and sometimes fight back with anger or retreat, don't you? But with that empathy, you probably feel a bit sorry for your dad as well. You feel for him that he's carrying this.
Yeah.
I think that's, that's going to be in the mix as well.
Oh, no, P has got a sister.
Oh, yeah, mum and sister.
Yeah. So I don't know what that's like. I don't know whether you and your sister sort of share time together, whether there's a sense that you can draw on each other for some support.
Yeah.
And also I don't know what it's like in terms of... I think the fact that you're still living at home, I guess you're relatively young, even if you're, in your 20s. I'm just wondering if there is anybody you can reach out to outside of the home environment, because I think that's something we always try and encourage, isn't it? To talk to somebody else.
Yeah. And maybe even sometimes staying at a friend's, just to get away for a little bit. I don't know what the situation is, whether there's an opportunity for that, but just to get that little bit of respite.
Yeah. And also, even if you can't stay somewhere else, maybe just getting out and playing some sport, or doing something where there is another activity that can help you feel like you've got a bit of freedom, even if you haven't got the freedom, you know. And of course, ideally our homes are the safest places, and for you it sounds like your home is really feeling very unsafe. So it's, how do you find a way of feeling safe in moments maybe outside of that space?
Yeah, some people find it really helpful if they have their own room, that they just really make that their sanctuary.
Yeah.
Their own safe sanctuary within the home.
Yeah.
That can help. Sometimes
when I've experienced people who don't feel particularly safe, is also imagination. And is imagining, you know, whatever feels right, whether it's a sort of superhero type button that's pressed, it's your watch, and then it brings on a sort of imaginary outfit or armor or whatever, something which you can feel somehow you're protecting yourself inside it. Sometimes I've talked about like that very thick glass, you know, you can get that, you know, elephants could walk on and it wouldn't break kind of thing, that somehow there's a shield around you. And even though it sounds maybe a bit weird, actually our imaginations can be really helpful in situations like that.
Yeah, good point. It's something we use with EMDR, isn't it?
Yeah.
Resourcing and imagining the thing that you need.
Yes.
Something that some of my clients have is, it's like a force field.
Yeah.
Like electrical kind of force field.
Exactly. So it can be anything in our imaginations. That's what's so fantastic about them. It could be anything that suits you. But I wonder if that might be a really helpful thing, just because it's so hard in that environment to find any kind of safety from the sounds of it.
Yeah.
And difficult for you also to witness your mum, I imagine. You know, if mum's
wanting a divorce.
If their mum is wanting a divorce and can't afford to, and you say it's overwhelming, that must really add to the powerless and helplessness, I think.
Well, and probably anxiety and worry as well.
Yeah.
Worry about your mum in this.
Yeah. And maybe your sister too, if she's younger or even if she's older. You know, there's sort of the worry about the other sibling too, isn't there? I think often. Yeah. That responsibility that can be taken on.
I really feel for P. I just want to go in there and make it all
rescue.
better.
I know. And it's really hard. Yeah, and I think you're right. You know, there aren't any simple answers with this. There's not straightforward answers with this. But I think if you can speak to somebody outside of home, that might be a start. I don't know. You know, I don't know. Also, it sounds like P is in Spain. From what I'm interpreting. Might not be, but wherever you are, there might be some resources that you can look up of support groups that can be for families, and you know, in different countries there's bound to be something. Sometimes where, you know, because it sounds like your dad can perhaps get quite angry, and I don't know if that then ends up as physical violence. So it might be that you can draw upon sort of domestic violence support groups,
even if it's not physical, it's still, you know, emotional.
Exactly.
So
it might be worth looking to see if there are any support groups where you are that you could reach out to. I mean, in this country we have all sorts, don't we, of different support groups available. Yeah. Even things like Childline.
Lots of different charities offer different kinds of supports and groups and websites. And so maybe have a look at where you are and see if there's anything that would help. Yeah, well, we hope that's been of some comfort.
Yes. And we're thinking about you. It's, you know, a really tough situation. And thank you so much for writing in.
Yeah, thank you, P.
Okay, another 2 great letters. Yeah. Really touching. And both experiences around kind of different cultural things as well, which is important, isn't it? Yeah.
It is important. And I think it just raises the awareness of the difficulties that can come with that as well.
Yeah. And both these instances, I think, are two young people. And so the courage for both of these people, L and P, to write into us. And keep listening. Hopefully with our episodes you can hear us. You've heard us talk about your letter, and hopefully that can help you feel a little bit more connected to someone who's thought about you and thinking about you.
Yeah. And if anyone has any other things that they'd like to, problems, dilemmas that they'd like to let us know about, we have the link in the show notes. We can put that in there.
Yes, and it can all be done anonymously. So there's a sort of form that can be filled out. You don't have to be anonymous, but you can absolutely be anonymous.
And you can even do a voice note if you'd rather talk. So
Yeah.
there's an option for that.
Yeah.
That'll be great.
Yeah. And also if there's anything that you would like us to do an episode on, any particular issue that you think we haven't covered so far, do let us know.
Yeah.
Thanks, Ali.
Thank you.
I love these Dear Therapist episodes.
I do too.
So thank you.
I never feel like I'm quite offering enough, but...
Well, I think it's understandable, isn't it? Particularly in these situations when they're really tough. I think it's something that we can all feel, isn't it? That it's just, what we would love to do something more and yet are limited to what we can. But hopefully, as you say, something has been helpful. And even if there's nothing that you're going to take away, that you know that you've been heard.
Yeah.
If we've been listening to you.
Okay. Well,
Thanks,
I'll see
Ali.
you next time, Ros.
I look forward to it.
Take care.
And you.